Starting with the Pro Velocity bat. I'm just going to put one band on here, create a little bit of tension, not much. And we're going to go through a few drills that I like to do. We call them field drills. All right. Um, there's a big difference between what you're going to feel in training versus what you are going to see actually happening with your swing if you were to play it back on video, right? Feels versus reels. And all I'm going to do at first is just get into my stride. I'm going to load. I'm going to make sure that I land close with that front side shoulder. And then I'm going to get to an area of connection. When I talk about connection, we're talking about the backside hip and the backside elbow. I don't want to be extremely exaggerated with that movement. I don't want to dig deep into that backside, but I do want to make sure that there is some type of connection. So I've got one band on the velo bat, and we're going to work on getting connected and creating power from the backside. A lot of us tend to use our arms, our hands, when we're trying to swing harder or create more torque and tension through our swing. I want us to understand that a lot of that comes from and is created from the back half. We got to create force from the foot, right? From the bottom. That force has to travel from the ground into our hips, and we have to figure out a way to transfer that energy from our hips to our hands or to the barrel. That does not happen by swinging as hard as you can with your arms. So one of my first drills that I like to do before we do any type of BP session is to do a check swing with the velo bat. Put one band on here. I'm going to try to create as much force as possible and allow that barrel to slide into position without extending or rotating and through that swing. We got to create a lot of force off of the bottom foot. We have to create not only create that force through the ground, but we have to translate into torque and tension through our hips and our obliques. Through connection is how that energy will be transferred into the barrel. We'll load, create that force and energy, and stop that energy before I get through extension of contact. What I feel in that is a lot of energy created from the backside. If I'm able to do that, then from there, it's as simple as letting the hands fly based off of the information the eyes have gathered. I'm creating force and energy from the ground up and translating that energy into torque and tension through my obliques and my hips, keeping connection on the backside elbow and hip so that that energy can now be transferred into my swing, into my barrel.